7:58, December 11th, 2019. For in 1 hour, well, it would be 8:48 a.m. It is snowing pretty good. It was also snowing in that Pet Goat 2 video too. Remember that? You know that scene where Obama graduates? You know, I'm going to my graduation. Hopefully it's not delayed because of the snow, and hopefully everybody can get there. Psalms 23. I don't know what that verse is, but I do know that when you look at Psalms, when you look at the P and the S and then the A, like the PA, and then the LM, when you switch things around, turn it upside down, backwards, LM, ML, Martin Luther King Boulevard is right where that shooting happened yesterday in Jersey City, that great city. Shots rang out, like over hundreds of shots, and when you first heard the shots, when they showed the footage, you see everybody just like this, like it's like pop, 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 pop. Oh yeah. Because it's all purposely done so you can look at it and just say like, whatever. But it happened in Martin Luther King Boulevard. It happened right near Wegman Street. Wegman in Warrington is right around the corner from my house. The snow was coming down in the Pet Goat 2 video. That tall, skinny, thin tower that gets hit is William Penn Building. I just thought of it yesterday, because I haven't watched that video in like a year, like all the way through. Now it's simply understood, because that child that has the egghead in his brain, because he hatched his brain. He hatched his brain, uploaded to the computer to connect to 144 others, 24 elders and 120 that King Darius, it pleases him to set in the providence. You know who's going to make his top guy, right? Of course. The one that told you this is going to happen. When the snow comes down, the Pet Goat 2 video, Obama's over there. Oh man, is he in the 11th window? I swear he is, because there's 12 windows, but then there's 6, but then it has like the window pane, and you can divide it, you can bring it to 12. Then the bottom one has 6, and then 6 at the bottom, and then it's snowing like it is now. And when you have the 12 windows, but Obama's in the 11th window, yeah, I think that's what it means. I think it means 12:11 is when Obama rises up, the beast from the pit, because it's Kleck rising up, the beast from the pit, because he's destroying Philadelphia, and Obama gets to rise up in the 11th window. I want to actually check that out now to see if that's true, because it has to snow. Here's the requirements for the second 9/11. It has to be a snowy day. It has to be on a Wednesday. And I mean, it could be 8:48. I mean, 8:58. Wait a minute. What time was it supposed to be? Oh, no, it's not for 1 hour. It's... Did I go to 8:48 when I started this video? Yeah, because it's 5 minutes ago. 8:58 I went to. I'm sorry. For in 50 minutes from the beginning, for, 50 mile per hour zone. I looked at Kleck's folder yesterday, or this morning, and I seen another little symbol for 10 plus 2, and then it was equaled out to 102. And it also had 9/11 under there too, and it had one hit, I think, or was it 3? Right next to the watch that shows you the 9/11 at 10:10:2. Okay, 10. I see what it is. At 10, it says 10:10, but it shows you the clock hand at 10, and then the little hand at 10. I forget which way it was. The big hand, little hand at 10. Big hand at 2, which is 10:2. It's really 10:10, but when you add them up, 102, it's 102 days. 102 days since the August 31st, 2019 Home Depot, Odessa, Texas shooting that killed 5 people and injured 21, to give you the 521 reference. I think, was it 22 at the end? I think it was. It was 5/21/22. At 5:22 p.m. a.m. that shooting happened. Now they're all back to back now. Now, if you've noticed since the well, it was the August shooting, November 14th, correct? Because that was the 50th day. Well, let's just start from the beginning. I have plenty of time. Kleck's timeline. August 31st. It has a date on it. He's showing you the envelope, August 31st, 2019, with the 435 envelope, stamped envelope. When they met up at the Home Depot 435 in San Antonio, Texas, everybody. That's the whole crew, showing you the whole crew. That day that shooting happened at Odessa, Texas, referenced at the Home Depot, just like I had seen that the thoughts in my head, and what I've seen is that the Home Depots that was the theme at that moment, and then it came to pass. That's what happened there, and that was the kickstart of the 100 days of shutting the door. 100 days of no lying with the tribe of Judah, which ended on the 9th. But today is the 102nd day. See what I'm saying? Since August 31st. 50 days later, well, let's start with 37 days later. 37 days later, Kleck hops on October 7th and shows you the clips of his videos where him and his crew of 8, it's a crew of 8 altogether, because they're the 8 souls terrorizing America. Like, they're the 8 souls responsible for all these terroristic events that are taking place. So that was the 37th day, and Kleck was sitting there with the table, number 37, letting you know that that's the 37th day, and then taking a picture standing under the 311. George Washington, I think it was, before the Declaration of Independence, he they gave him 3 months, a little over 3 months of a continual something or another of whatever it was. 3 months and 11 days. 311. From the time of August 31st, 311, I believe that landed on was that the 9th or was that the 10th? But there's a 2-day extension for getting rid of all the trees, which represents us, the truth, those trees, digging dirt, gravel, getting out, knocking down, and then getting ready for the cement truck to back up. at 8:48 a.m. The first hit starts, and at 9:03, second hit, and then a half hour later, 9:33, the White House. That Met building looks like that's in the play now, because he had his little Madonna thing up there, getting one hit. Petco 2 video shows three airplanes flying with, and then hitting 5 shots, 5 times hitting, which is representing the 5th trumpet and the beast rising up from the pit, and that's why Obama's standing in the 11th window with the 12 panes, 1211. So that was day 37, and then day 50, because he was showing you the 50-mile-per-hour zone, and before the day 50, I said in my video, if a terrorist attack happens at Lowe's tomorrow on October 20th, 2019, then you know that the second 9/11 will be the next day. That didn't happen. It wasn't the Lowe's, but it was a Home Depot being destroyed by Kleck's tornado. He has Mr. BB, sorry, Mr. BB, the guy that does the sky videos, and then Johnny from San Antonio, Texas, sends in his son, just the son with his headphones on. That's exactly what it is. What I'm telling you it is. The ones that are on the inside, you already know that. The other ones that don't know, I'm trying to persuade you to believe what I'm telling you, because it's true. So that was the 50th day. As Kleck shows you the 50-mile-per-hour zone, and then 800 more feet to go to get to Corpus Christi to cross over. Well, don't you know that that building 8 is right there at 17th and JFK Boulevard? It's the JFK Boulevard. The lady kept talking about John F. Kennedy Boulevard yesterday at the shooting in Jersey City, and telling you that the 8 officers are there, which is showing you that it's building 8. It's 17th Street with Kleck 17 years, John F. Kennedy Boulevard, JFK, Jonathan Fargo Kleck. So that happened on the 50th day. So you know, so then what did I say next? The number 75 is the target, because it was Home Depot number 75. They were drawing you towards the next 25 days, because he was halfway there with the 50-mile-per-hour zone. And then when you get to the 75th day, because that was the target, what happened on November 14th besides the Saugus High School being shot up with the corner, right, showing you the corner? There was a movie I watched yesterday. I don't know what it was called, I forget, but it was made in 1999, and it was about well, it wasn't the Unabomber, but it was some guy. I think Jeff Bridges played it. I'm sure some of you already know what I'm talking about. And his neighbor, he knew he was a Jonathan Kleck, right? He knew it, but he couldn't prove it at the time. But then when he tried to prove it, it's like bad things happen, and then and it was referencing 9/11 all over the place. And then when he was coming out of the one building with his second wife, he was coming out of the building, and on the right hand side, it was the exact building of the Saugus High School. It was on the angle, like the whale looking, had the opening exactly to the T. It was it. And then when he was down in the digging through some papers, looking at stuff and files, it showed, what did it show? The files down, oh crap, what was it? Oh, Waco, Texas. It showed Waco, Texas in the file. You know how Kleck likes to show you the Waco, Texas, the 9/11, and turn it upside down, but it really has the Philadelphia with the star there, the PP, PL, PI, PX, Planet X. But that movie, 20 years ago, you can see how things are pertaining to now, and the 9/11, and how the guy has the blueprints for the buildings and how to, you know, set up the bombs and everything. He is the modern day. Well, that was Kleck. That is Kleck. That's who he is. The Kleck's the Unabomber. Like setting up bombs. loves talking about 9/11, loves talking about the money that he had printed with his artwork on the back of money. He loves talking about the Obama portrait, saying he didn't draw it. It's just he loves telling you how it wasn't his idea to fold the money up. And after he drew the images to be printed on the back of money, to fold it up so you can see the 9/11 explosion that's going to happen. And then the building. And they kept referencing Philadelphia. Oh, man. That movie was referencing, again, another guy's name was Phil. And then as they're walking, then they show another scene and they're standing right above, oh, no, his name was William, sorry. And he was standing right above Pennsylvania Avenue, okay? So when you got the guy's name is William, who was the bomber, and then they're walking and they stand underneath the Pennsylvania Avenue, Will Penn. When, you remember when Richie from Boston said there's an invasion coming to Pennsylvania? You remember when Stephen Ben-Danoon had a meeting at Pennsylvania? Do you remember when the mouthpiece, Mr. Paul Begley, was coming to Pennsylvania as well? There's 3 right there. Coming to Pennsylvania. Penn, William Penn building. Mayor Phil something or another from the Jersey City Township was making some statement yesterday because his name is Phil. Delahigh is the fire that happened over there. And see, now I got to start remembering all these events like I remembered all the other ones from before. Delhi, the fire that happened, is the second half of what Philadelphia is. Phil is the first half because he gave a report yesterday with the shooting. Philadelphia, Penn, William Penn, the invasion's coming to William, Pennsylvania. So that was the 50th day, the tornado, Home Depot number 75. That was the target. So when November 14th came around, it wasn't a big surprise that it was going to be a major news dominating event. Then likewise, so you got 100% no lion, 100% no sheep. When the 100th day came around on the 9th and the 10th, it's no surprise that there was major news dominating events. So where did it begin now? The 6th of November was the shooting at Pensacola Air Base. That guy was training since 2017. So was I. He's a shooter. Saudi Arabia gives a good reason for those missiles to come over here because they just shut down all the Saudi Arabia pilots or whatever that are training here in America. So that's shutting them down. It's, you're shutting the door on them. You're shutting the door. It's 7 days. You have 7 days to get into the Ark because the Kleck's Ark. You don't want to get in there, but if you do, go ahead. That arc begins on December 16th to the 26th because it's 26:16. The Led Zeppelin angel, is holding on as he's being pulled down by Kleck and trying to be eaten, by the Tyrannosaurus. You got those 10 days there. Fox News 10 is everywhere these days with these events, and Pix 2 is there. Planet X2, they're there, second 9/11, Philadelphia. The shooting yesterday showed you Martin Luther King, and the Petco 2 shows you the P, the S, like as in Philadelphia, the S as in like Saugus, and then the A connecting with Pennsylvania, they're giving you Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and then LM, ML, Martin Luther, 23 bypass. This is the bypass. 102 days is today. It's Wednesday. So the requirements for the second 9/11 has to be snow. It has to be somewhere in number 12, somewhere in the number 11. And it has to be like 8:48 a.m., 9:03 a.m., somewhere around there. And it has to be like in Philadelphia. It has to be somewhere in if it's not Philadelphia, then it's 17th and JFK at Building 8 right there on the corner. So there's only one Building 8 on 17th and JFK that I know of. Who knows, there might be more. So that Cola. Pentacola. Why is that ringing a bell? There's something else I've seen with cola in it, but then what happened after that? The 7th was the fire, correct? The next day was the fire at Delhi High. And the 8th, did anything happen on the 8th? How about the 9th and the 10th? Well, yesterday was the shooting. And then the 9th, oh man, I'm forgetting already. I think the 9th, okay. I think the 9th, I'll have to look back. But the 10th was yesterday. That was the 100th full day when you do the calculations. And so the shooting happened around 12:30. But somehow, maybe it was the time zone difference. Somehow at 12:30, somehow the governor, Phil, he had a statement that was like 11:30 or something, like 11:45. But the shootings all happened at 12:30. I don't know, I had to look into that, but so here we are at 102. 100% no lion of the tribe of Judah. 12:12 tomorrow is the manifestation of Jesus Christ. According to the 12:12 rumor that's been thrown around there. Steve Fletcher's now telling you all of a sudden he's in agreement with the second 9/11 happening this week. Ironically enough, maybe between the 11th, 12th, or the 13th. I love how false prophets come up at the end. This is what I've been saying for a while now. These dates that I come up with, or events like the second 9/11, or May 21st, like he did last year, 2018, Obama rising up, the Pope saying it's okay to be gay, and then from that point on, you got your. But that was the 7th year of the tribulation since we were warned, but when we get to that time, then all of a sudden it's like the false prophets hop on and start talking about that date, which only clarifies it with me that I was on the right track. Just like Philadelphia getting hit, right? I'm telling you, how many times have I said 17th and John F. Kennedy Boulevard, 17th and John F. Kennedy Boulevard, Building 8, Chase Bank, 848, 848. And then yesterday, after the event happened in Jersey, which is near the LM, the ML, the Petcoat 2, the Martin Luther King, the Psalms 2-3 to 2-3 bypass, PA, is in there coming up next. Then you hear the lady talking about John F. Kennedy Boulevard. I've already heard Kleck talking about Philadelphia, the Church and the Angel of Philadelphia. I've already seen the fire happen at 52nd Lancaster Ave on August 27th, 2019. And then 13 days before that, I've seen the shooting happen in Philadelphia. Like the same scene that you seen yesterday is the same scene that was over in Philly. With all the gunshots, it was the same soundtrack, most likely. The same gunshot fire soundtrack. So I already seen them talking about it. Ringing, does that ring a bell? The Angel, the Church of Philadelphia. Kleck playing that out. Back on July 4th, talking about this. Three in a row, right? Steve? 3 in a row from SJD, waiting it out. I've heard these words connecting to Philadelphia. After the shooting on August 14, 2019 in Philly, I was walking around Center City for the next 13 days waiting for the next event to happen, sniffing it out, knowing the next major news dominating event is going to be in Philadelphia. It wound up being the fire, 52nd and Lancaster Avenue, 52nd, 52, Steve's 52, recognize Golan Heights, 52. Wait a minute, isn't RFB 52 also? He is, right? Same age as you, Steve? Why does he look younger or something? He just doesn't look... Or do you look older? I'm not sure which one it is. Or do you look your age and he looks younger? I think he does look younger. He has more smooth baby face because he can't really grow a beard. Yep. So now the night, it's like I've been screaming from that rooftop. You know that ladder that they showed? You know Jacob's ladder they showed you getting on top of the rooftop? That's where I've been up there already. I've been screaming second 9/11, second 9/11, second 9/11. Then I've been screaming, well, it's going to be in Philadelphia, second 9/11. Then I started screaming 8:58, and then 9:03, and then I got the 9:33 timeline, and then I started to find out that it's like around 17th Street. 17th Street. I heard Kleck talking about 17 years. I'm like, okay, so 17th Street. And then it's like after I'm walking around, I'm like, John F. Kennedy Boulevard. I wonder if that means anything. And I'm like, duh, Jonathan Kleck Boulevard, Jonathan Vargo, but it's really Fargo because he's owning the banks. He's bragging about how much money he has. And when you got your artwork printed on the back of money, you're doing pretty well, I'd say. What do you think? In America? Yeah, I think so. And then I put together 17th of John F. Kennedy. And then, because it's the 7th and of the 8th, I started thinking, well, Building 1 and 2 went down. That has to represent the first 9/11 and the second 9/11. Then Building 7 went down. That has to represent the fact that Building 8 needs to come down because we're going from the 7th and into the 8th year into perdition. And then it just so happened that at 17th and John F. Kennedy Boulevard in Philadelphia, there's a Building 8 right on the corner. What got me there was the pressure cooker rice cookers, the 3 empty rice cookers and a 2-3 bypass. I happen to have 23,000 subs. They're going to try to bypass that. So they gave their clues and hints towards the mirror event, 16th Street, in between John and William, obviously. And when you turn around and look, standing there at 16th Street at Bank of America, you got William Penn on your right side, and you got John F. Kennedy Boulevard on your left. In between John and William, obviously, 1600 exactly, right there at the bank. I think I was there at the right spot. I mean, I think that maybe there was a terrorist attack that was going to happen, or a bombing scare or something, and they couldn't do it because I had the camera waiting for the guy to come up from out of the subway. Or it was just letting you know where the next, letting you know what's going to happen with the second 9/11. The vicinity where they got to meet up at. Like that's the subway station you come up out of, and then over there is the Starbucks that you guys meet up at. Because Kleck's talking about going to one of his favorite spots and getting a cappuccino, whatever. And he's constantly going in the Starbucks about this guy he's seen that drew a dead sheep of him, which he drew the dead sheep and said somebody drew it of him. But whatever, that's what liars do. They lie. But he keeps talking about the Starbucks, and then the cherry on top, and then 1400 block of the lighthouse that got destroyed after Home Depot number 75 got torn up by the tornado. And when he's talking about the cherry on top, and at Cherry Street is exactly 1400 block right there, right about exactly 200 yards away from the William Penn building on Broad Street. Kleck hopped on Broadway after he waited in the alleyway where the thing in the middle of the road there, it's like a bird is a plane. Well, it's that plane is right there in that alleyway, which was representing the second 9/11 that's going to show you. So when he's there talking about the 1400 block, the cherry on top, Broadway Street going down, and then going and running over and backing up the little bird in the street, it's representing the that weird tall building he built out the back of his yard, the William Penn building, the same building that it's showing on Pet Goat 2 exploding, the same thing that the guy's penis and the woman upside down, inside out in the Petco 2, standing up with the lighthouse representing the William Penn building. And then the missiles hitting, 5 missiles hitting 3 airplanes. It's all pointing to Philadelphia. I mean, it's literally pointing to Philadelphia in the next 18 minutes. We'll see, you know. We'll see what happens. Something's happening today, because it's going to continue on. It's a non-stop. I feel like it's a non-stop 17 days with Johnny Kleck and his crew live. Yeah, it is, because he's even said, you're gonna witness these miracles live. I'll give it to him. You know, it's like, look at it like this. It's a bunch of people that are in the movies, the extras in the movies. They're professionals. They know what to do. They communicate through their earpieces. There's no action anywhere. It's silent. That's what makes it look real. You're gonna witness this stuff live firsthand, because they have to do it live like that to make it look real. But everything's coordinated and set up. Matter of fact, right now you guys are drinking your Starbucks coffee, aren't you? How many of you have a Starbucks in your hand right now? Huh? Yeah, huh? Right here in Philadelphia. I think I'm going to do a drive-by. Yeah. I think I have time before I go to the job. Have a drive-by. I got 1 minute left on this clock. Look, this may be the last video I do. It could blow up, and I'm driving by, and I die. Or nothing happens today, and nothing will happen. Nothing's ever going to happen. It's like all this wasted time and energy, Robin, that you put in trying to create 144 believers. Good luck with that. Well, there's already 24 elders. See, once the 6th seal happens, don't hurt any green grass or any green thing until we have the seal of God in their foreheads, and the number of them were 144. Well, 120, because there's 24 elders and there's 120 that Darius, it pleases him to set over the province of Babylon, the system over this entire world. Yeah, I'm gonna get thrown in the lion's den immediately, but